The climate is the most important factor behind the activities of the human being as well as the other areas. These other areas belongs to the other lives which are in the form of plants, animal and marine life. In climatic condition, the most important factors are the temperature and precipitation. So these are the two important elements of the weather which are controlling everything over the earth surface. यहाँ एवरीथिंग से मुराद वो तमाम एक्टिविटीज़ हैं जो कि इंसान से या प्लांट लाइफ से या एनिमल और मेरीन लाइफ से रिलेटेड हैं। स्पेशली इसमें आजकल जैसे हम बात कर रहे हैं वो है plant life, which is actually the branch of the physical geography. It is called the phytogeography. Now, one of the most important area in the climate or the distribution of the temperature and precipitation which affect the plant life over the planet, that is the area where we have the distribution of the plants. So here one of the important forest which actually deals with the earth's surface actually called the savanna. A savanna is a grassland scattered with shrubs and isolated trees, which can be found between a tropical rainforest and desert biomes. Not enough rain falls on a savanna to support forest. So it's a kind of grassland, but some areas are covered with the trees. यहाँ पर जो है वो हम ये बात कर सकते हैं कि ये उन एरियाज़ के दरमियान वाक़ है जो कि ट्रॉपिकल रेन फॉरेस्ट हैं और जहाँ पर बारिशें कम होती हैं, यानी दो वो एरिया जो एक्सट्रीम में है, एक्सट्रीम इन द सेंस ऑफ प्रेसिपिटेशन, जहाँ पर बारिशें ज़्यादा हैं वहाँ पर ट्रॉपिकल रेन फॉरेस्ट हैं और जहाँ पर बारिशें बहुत कम हैं वहाँ डेजर्ट्स हैं. सो एक्चुअली दीज एरियाज़ आर लोकेटेड between these two extreme type of climate. Now this is the location of the savanna and grassland forest. Most of the savanna are located in the southern hemisphere, which are actually the areas belongs to the South Asia, South America, Africa and Australia. So here we have the things which are related to the moderate type of region, or we can say here the temperature and rainfall are in moderate. The savanna biomes is usually associated with the tropical wet dry climate of Africa and South America. It includes vegetation formation classes ranging from woodland to grassland. In savanna woodland, the trees are spaced rather widely apart because soil moisture during the dry season is not sufficient to support a full tree cover. The open spaces permit development of a dense lower layer which usually consists of grasses. So here we can see the types of the grassland and forest which are located in savanna. So this actually belongs to the region which are in Africa, and most of the areas are the central part of the African continent. Savanna woodland has an open park-like appearance. Savanna woodland usually lies in a broad belt adjoining to the equatorial rainforest. In the tropical savanna woodland of Africa, the trees are of medium height. Trees' crowns are flattened or umbrella-shaped and the trunk have thick, rough barks. Fire is a frequent occurrence in the savanna woodland during the dry season, but the trees species of the savanna are particularly resistant to fire. Here one thing is very important when we are discussing the type of forest, the desert one. The desert not only belongs to the area where we have the dry and hot type of weather, but it is also related with the cold type of climate. So यहाँ पर हम ये देखते हैं कि टुंड्रा जो है is one of the area where we have cold climatic condition. So this actually is a type of biomes which has a particular type of characteristics. The Tundra biome is an ecosystem situated near the North Pole in the Arctic Circle. It is by far the coldest of all biomes. The winter are extremely cold with temperature typically below minus 34 degrees Celsius. So here one thing is again very important is the 10 degrees Celsius temperature of the warmest month is the agriculture limit of the globe. or you can say the vegetal cover limit of the globe. यानी मौसम गर्मा का अगर दर्जा हरारत वहाँ पर जो वार्मेस्ट मंथ है उसका 10 डिग्री सेल्सियस टेम्परेचर से कम है तो उस जगह पर हम एग्रीकल्चर नहीं कर सकते. सो सेम इज़ द केस विद द वेजिटेशन. जैसे हम नॉर्थ और साउथ पोल की तरफ जाते हैं यानी लैटिट्यूडनल हम जब उसमें डिग्रीज में इंक्रीज होता है तो उस वक्त जो है टेम्परेचर कम होना शुरू हो जाता है और इसी तरह से वेजिटल कवर भी कम होना शुरू हो जाता है. Now these are the areas which are under the tundra type of biomes. So this type of region belongs to the northern part of the North America, the most of the region of the Siberian region. The Siberia belongs to the Russian Federation or the northern part of the Asian continent. The desert biomes include several formation classes that are traditionally from grassland and savanna biomes into vegetation of the arid deserts. Here are recognized two basic formation classes, semi-arid desert and dry desert. Arctic tundra is a formation class of the tundra climate. Now here the most of the air temperature rises above the freezing point and a shallow surface layer of the ground ice thaws. The permafrost beneath, however, remains frozen, keeping the meltwater at the surface. These conditions create a marshy environment for at least short time over wide areas because plant remains decay very slowly within the cold meltwater. Layers of the organic matter can build up in the marshy grounds. So tundra composition varies greatly as soil ranges from wet to well drained. Tundra vegetation is also found in or around at higher latitudes. This alpine tundra develops above the limit of the tree growth and below the vegetation free zone of the bare rock and perpetual snow. Alpine tundra resembles Arctic tundra in many physical aspects. This kind of vegetation is the main characteristic of the tundra biome. Most of the area is covered with the ice but the bare soil actually has specific type of the vegetation. In tundra biomes, the summer lasts only about 2 months and the temperature are still very cold, ranging from 3 degree to 12 degree Celsius temperature. So here we can see that the most of the months are under the below freezing temperature and only 2 months has temperature between 3 to 12 degrees Celsius. So it characterizes the feature which are particular to this type of climate.